Today, Baba tells us that we become an embodiment of what we think about. And Baba gives us thoughts of zeal and enthusiasm. And Baba says that when you think about the thoughts that Baba gives about myself and about others, then you become an embodiment of zeal and enthusiasm. So, you see, in the world, if you say, there is a lot of hopelessness about the self, hopelessness about the present, hopelessness about the future. And Baba tells us that there is a lot of hope in the self, in the present, and in the future. And Baba tells us that you are the angel that everybody has been waiting for. And this is such a great thought that, you don't have to wait for the angel. You are the angel who is here to serve everyone with his powerful vibrations, with his purity. So, Baba gives us a lot of thoughts about the self, which fill you with a lot of zeal about yourself. So, what is the opposite of zeal and enthusiasm? It is a state of, giving up and being hopeless. And you see, in the world, if you see these days, everybody has given up on themselves. And they think that, I can't do this, I can't do that. And most importantly, I can't even think what I want to think. So, people have given up on their power to change their thoughts, their power to change their feelings, their power to change their actions. So, people are living a very dejected life, But Baba says that here Baba reminds us of our powers, our capabilities, our responsibilities, and what is it that I can do not only for myself, but also how I can be an instrument for the whole world when, Baba is with me. And I remember, when I was not doing seva, I had just understood Gyan a little, and then one day the Didi in the center said that you must start doing some seva. So she said that yes, you do financial seva, that's fine, but then you also start, sharing knowledge, and if you are willing, you take classes, and then you see, because I was, free, and I was just doing a job, but otherwise there were no big karmic accounts, so she felt I could do it. But I just thought that, going to office and taking care of the house is such a big deal that I couldn't even think about doing something else. And I was so full of this, weight that I'm doing so much and I can't do more. And then when she asked me, so I said, I can't do, what do you think? I can't do all this. I'm just, I have very limited time and I can only do as much as I'm doing. And then, suddenly Didi said that, what if Lakshmi said, I do not have wealth to donate, and Saraswati said, I do not have knowledge to share. And then I just, I couldn't handle that and I left. And those words, they kept ringing in my ears that somebody has to do it. Somebody has to take the responsibility. And yes, of course, if everybody said, I can't do it, then how would this whole task of Baba happen? And then, it was such a lift, a gift that it gave me the zeal and enthusiasm to start doing seva. And you see that this is how, Baba says that uh, you have to, so those words I always listen to in the Murli, right? Baba speaks the Murli to me personally. Everybody has to understand that Baba doesn't speak the Murli to us. Baba speaks the Murli to me. Do you understand that? So when you read the Murli, you have to know that Baba is speaking this to me. But then most of the things that Baba speaks in the Murli, we don't take it and think about it. And when you think about it, you know that, yes, I am who Baba is looking at me as. I am that person, and this is really the diamond age of my life, and it can't get better, I have the ocean of knowledge, I have Baba with me. And when you just think about these things, think about your worth, think about the worth of the time you are in, and think about, so people, they curse their present, they say, things are not good, my time is not good. But Baba tells us that you are in the best time. It couldn't get better. Although, it is Kali Yuga outside, but do you know what Sangam Yuga is called? It's called the diamond age. And it's better than the golden age. The golden age will be lesser than this diamond age. Why? Because right now I'm with Baba. And I have the opportunity to not only become who I want to become, but also the opportunity to serve everybody and make them become who they want to become. You will not have this opportunity in Satyug, will you? You will not be able to remove somebody's sorrow and bring them happiness. You will not be able to remove somebody from the darkness of ignorance and bring them to the light of knowledge. But all that is possible right now, and this is such a great time, and Baba always says that, Brahmins have only two opportunities in this life. One, when you are with Brahmins, you rejoice. And when you are with non-Brahmins, you serve and earn punya karma. So you see, it is either happiness or power. It is accumulation for us in all the time. And when we are with Brahmins, when we are with BKs, then BKs are all non-judgmental, understanding, knowledgeful souls. And then living in their company is beautiful because they understand what you're saying, they understand where you're coming from, they understand the challenges, and they are solution oriented, not not interested in just discussing problems and criticizing. So it's beautiful when you are with BKs, but it's also beautiful when you're with non-BKs, because you can always share what you have received from Baba. And this is the most beautiful time of our whole journey, the diamond age. And the most important thing is you're always in Baba's company. being continuously sustained with love and peace and joy and power. And when you start, whenever you are in awareness, you feel like whatever you had been searching for, all attainments or the love of all relationships, is right here with you at every second. So Baba says, think about, yourself, think about what Baba tells you about your virtues, your powers, your role, your destiny. Think about this opportune time of the present. Think about, the future. Yes, think about how bright your future is. Think about how promising your future is. You will be in the world of happiness where there will be no trace of sorrow. And Baba says, when you think about all these things, then it fills you with zeal and enthusiasm. And Baba says, when you speak these things to others, it fills them also with zeal and enthusiasm. And then you see, whatever you think about, you become an embodiment of. So, of course, when you think about, you feel, you feel enthusiastic. You feel there is hope and faith. You feel that all all your hopelessness is lost. But then, if you kept thinking about it, then you will become a person full of zeal and enthusiasm always. And you see, there are many people who ask BKs, what motivates you? And there was one brother, and he came to the center and he just sat down and said, I just have one question. How are you people so motivated all the time? So, every day getting up in the morning and then doing everything, and there is absolutely no pressure. You see, even when BKs live in households, and the households, the people around you in a Lokik household, they are not even encouraging you to get up or meditate or anything. In fact, they are happier if you don't do that. But then it is self motivation which makes you do all of that. And this self motivation is a byproduct of the zeal and enthusiasm that you create with your own thoughts when you churn on Baba's knowledge. And Baba says, whatever you keep churning on, whatever you keep thinking about, you will become an embodiment of that. And while the whole world is, saying that depression and this and that is normal, so we are saying staying constantly motivated and energetic is normal and natural. And why? Because, everything starts with a thought. So you start thinking about all the things that Baba tells you, and those are the things that fill you with zeal and enthusiasm, and you become an embodiment of zeal and enthusiasm. And you keep telling these things to others, they also start filling themselves with zeal and enthusiasm. They also start becoming an embodiment of zeal and enthusiasm. So Baba says, just like, everybody says today that entertainment is very important in a day. Yes, and I remember there was this one sister, and she said that so she had not done the course, and she had come to the center, and she told me that I am feeling like, I'm going to die in a few days. So I said, do you have some disease or is there a problem? So she said, no, it's just that feeling. So I said, why? So she said, I've not watched a movie or a serial or even a reel in many days because there is so much work at home, in office, and I'm always working. And without entertainment, how will somebody live? So I said, nobody died out of lack of entertainment anyways. But you see, Baba says, just like, people think that entertainment is very important in life. So Baba says, and they take out their time for entertainment. And similarly, Baba says, you take out some time to think about these thoughts that fill you with zeal and enthusiasm. And you entertain yourself with these thoughts, and these thoughts will give you, you know, will give you zeal and enthusiasm in a permanent way. So you see, the entertainment that people indulge in these days, they it gives them temporary happiness. So you watch something, you feel happy for that time, but do you know what it's doing in the long run? All the entertainment, because it is passive, you know, all the entertainment is passive. So you are seeing, you are hearing, you are not using your intellect, you're not using your mind, you're just consuming everything passively. And because there is no active, action involved, so, and because happiness is the product of good karma, and you are not doing any active good action, it's just consuming negative stuff or consuming things that has worldly vibrations, then what happens is your capacity to be happy naturally is reducing every day. Because you see, if you start eating food from outside every day, you start buying every day food, then what happens? Slowly, gradually, you will forget how to cook. Yes, because your ability to cook is not being used. So, how do we actually, what is the right method to create happiness? The right method, the natural method to create happiness and zeal and enthusiasm is to think happy thoughts, do good karma. Yes, you have to sit and think about what Baba makes you think about. And those are thoughts that will ignite the flame of enthusiasm in you. But if you don't do that work for yourself, just like people have stopped cooking for themselves, similarly, if you don't cook your meal of happiness, then you start consuming it from outside, then slowly, gradually, you forget how to be happy on your own. And that is why, research today is saying that the more you watch stuff on the internet, these OTT platforms or the reels that you're watching, it's leading to depression and it's leading to mental illnesses. This is what research is saying, because the more you consume your source of happiness from outside, you're not creating it. Then what happens is your ability to create it is suffering. And then you are internally depressed and you have to depend more and more on sources of entertainment to give you even 2 minutes of happiness. So this is why, Baba says that do not entertain yourself in the worldly way, just like people think entertainment is important. So our entertainment is sitting and thinking about the points of zeal and enthusiasm that Baba gives us. And when you think about them, you become an embodiment of happiness on your own. And you do this for others also. Whenever you talk to someone, remind them of their worth, remind them of this fortunate time of Sangam Yug, remind them that the world of happiness is coming, where everything will be right and everything will be good. And tell them that just by remembering Baba, just by being in Baba's company, they could go to that world. So Baba says, if you just did that, then you would be permanently happy and others would also be the same. And you will, and happiness is power. So, so people say, khushi jaisi khurak nahi, which means there is no food like happiness. So, just like food fills you with physical strength, Happiness fills you with inner strength, spiritual strength. So this is something that Baba says. And then Baba talks about a lot of important things in the Murli today. I would like you to go through everything in detail and then even write to me what you thought was really important and interesting in the Murli. I will take some few points. So one law that Baba talks about is that in the world also, people have yoga with the teacher who teaches them. Yes. So, can you remember your chemistry classes without remembering your chemistry teacher? No. So, the moment you think about chemistry, you remember your teacher, writing equations on the board and then, explaining it to them and explaining it to you. So, you always have yoga with the teacher who teaches you. If you don't have yoga with the teacher, then the teaching cannot be imbibed. And this is why, even if you're studying online, there is somebody teaching you. It's somebody's voice, somebody's face, yes. So even in Lokik study, you have yoga with the study and yoga with the teacher. And Baba says here also, study is important. So what Baba is telling you is important. You remember that, you churn on that. But remembering the teacher is also very important. So you have to have yoga with the teacher if you want to imbibe the teaching. And if you just had, so even when you read, so if it was not like that, then there are so many books in the world and people could just become knowledgeful by studying the book. Even when there is a book, by some yogi or somebody, you have that picture of that person on the cover page. And then while you're reading that book, you are remembering that these are words of this person. And you are having yoga with the person who spoke it. Yes, so it is always important that you have yoga with the teacher who is giving you that teaching. And Baba says, and only when, an engineering student has yoga with the teacher who is teaching him engineering, can he become an engineer. And Baba says, here also, I'm giving you a lot of knowledge, but you also have to have yoga with me if you want to become a deity. So this is one law that Baba talks about. Second thing Baba talks about is, Baba says that in the soul world, I and Baba live together, but we do not meet there. Yes, there is no meeting in the soul world. So in the soul world, the mind and intellect are not working. So it is just a place of rest. There is no meeting, there is no thinking. And when can there be absolute rest? Absolute rest is possible only when you're not thinking. Because when you're thinking, it's karma. And Baba says, soul world is our home. And it is the place of rest. And there is no thought in the soul world. And you cannot experience anything without a thought. If you don't have a mind that is operational and active, you cannot experience anything. Just think about your deep sleep state. When you are sleeping in deep sleep, at that time, your mind is not active. Yes, your mind. So your mind is sleeping, and the soul is so detached from the body that the mind and intellect are also sleeping in the deep sleep state. So not in the dream state. Dream state, the mind is active. But When you are in deep sleep, at that time there is no activity of the mind and intellect. And in that deep sleep state, can you experience anything? You don't experience anything. When you're in deep sleep, as children, we were moved from one place to another also. Parents would pick up us from one bedroom and shift us to the other, and we wouldn't even know. So Baba says that that is the kind of state in the soul world. And although you live with Baba, you cannot experience Baba, meet Baba in the soul world. And this is the stage. This is where all the activity happens. And even meeting Baba happens here. So, do you understand that the only time when you can experience Baba, you can feel that you're with Baba, is right now? So, not in the soul world, not in any phase of the cycle. You will never meet Baba again. You will meet Baba again only after 5,000 years. So, this is the only time when I know Baba, when I feel Baba, when I feel his company. So, I should take maximum benefit of him. And I should be very cautious about this, that this is the only time in the whole cycle when I meet Baba. This is the only time in 5,000 years when I meet Baba. So Baba says, here you know me, here you can think about me, here you can remember me, and here you can experience my love, my happiness, my company, my blessings, my compassion. You can experience everything at this time. So this is also another interesting thing that Baba says. Then Baba talks about the relationship between purity and beauty. Yes. And Baba uses a very interesting term. Baba says the beauty of hell and the beauty of heaven. So, the beauty of hell. So, have you seen that in worldly dramas and movies? And so we see how, a devil would just camouflage himself as a beautiful, woman or man. And that is called the beauty of hell. And these days, when somebody is apparently physically beautiful, then people mistake them that they would be beautiful as a soul also. But that is not true. That may or may not be true. Your external appearance could be very deceptive. And if and why is this, why am I giving this analogy of a demon or a devil camouflaging himself as a beautiful woman or man? Because you see, these days everybody has lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, and then selfish motive. And then if you have a beautiful body, you just, people are so body conscious, they fail to see the intentions behind. And then all the cheating and looting and deceiving is happening. So Baba says, all this is the beauty of hell. And it may or may not be so. So you have to look inside. You have to look beyond the package. It may be a beautiful body and an okay soul, because nobody can be a beautiful soul right now. But okay, at least a moral or ethical soul you can find, not a virtuous soul. But it could be the opposite also. Yes. And I remember there was one relative of mine, and they had this deep desire to bring a daughter-in-law who is very beautiful. And then they brought one, And then that daughter-in-law did nothing all day. And she used to, just sit and chat around. And whenever she tried to do something, she would bring a lot of loss. So she would spoil the vegetables. She would, whatever she did, she would just bring loss. And then that relative of mine, he once said that, I'm fed up and I made a mistake. So I said, no, but your only criteria was beauty. So you got that. So now you see, you have to also look what's inside. But it's very difficult to see inside. So that's why people choose to see outside. Because, nobody can actually find out what the soul is like. So at least choose a better body. That's how people are operating. And that's also fine given the circumstances. But Baba says all this is the beauty of hell. And anyways, ugly body, beautiful body, the soul is anyways impure. But Baba says in heaven you have real true beauty. And the true beauty is related to purity. Yes, so Baba says when you're pure, pure means viceless. When there is no lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then your actions give happiness. So your intention is to bring benefit and happiness to everybody. So when there is lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then also you do good actions, but then only until they serve your selfish interest. Yes, so even greedy or lustful or attached people are very nice and polite and very soft spoken, but only until their selfish interest is met. So, even a mother starts talking to his child badly when the child is not doing as the mother wants them to do. Yes, so they also, and not even if not talking badly, but at least giving sorrow, taking sorrow starts happening. So, you start. I remember there was this one Mata, and she told her daughter, so if you are going to BKs and not eating from my hand, then you will be very miserable, because nobody who displeases their mother can ever be happy. So you see that even parents, they because it's attachment. So attachment has expectations, and you can deal with some expectations not being met, but when all your expectations are not met, you cannot give love to that soul. It doesn't work like that. Yes, can you give love to somebody who doesn't meet any expectation of yours? Not possible, and you can only feel that when no expectation is met. And you see, these are times when parents are filing cases against children and children are filing cases against parents. So these are the times we are living in, and all of this proves that where there's lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, there cannot be beauty. You will see the ugly side sooner or later. Yes, and beauty is very long term. Have you seen that some people who look beautiful to you in the first meeting, they start looking ugly to you after some time? You feel like their faces changed, but their faces didn't change. Your drishti changed. But and some people who do not look so appealing and beautiful in the first incident, increasingly they grow on you and they start looking like the most beautiful people to you. And so this is about purity. And Baba says that I am the one who makes you really beautiful. And in Islam, there is a saying that God is Hussein. and God comes on a horse and he makes everybody beautiful. So Baba says that I am that Hussein, and this is my horse, Brahma Baba, and I come on this horse and I make everybody beautiful. So there is Hussein, Hussein ka ghoda, and then Hussein is jo haseen banata hai, the one who makes beautiful. So Baba says that I am that Hussein, and I have come to make everybody really beautiful, because when you're pure, you're beautiful. And I remember there was this one sister and she was sharing one anubhav which was very beautiful. She said that when she serves in a foreign country, she is the center in charge in a foreign country, and when she was coming to Bharat for Baba Milan, at that time, the person who was frisking her at the airport, she said, you know, there is something about you which is very beautiful, but I don't know, it's not beauty, it's something else. And I find that very attractive. And then I can't find a word for it. And then that sister said, is it purity you're looking for? So she said, yes, purity. So you have that purity which is being reflected. So you see that purity is the only sign of beauty. And only when you're pure, you will always feel beautiful, to yourself and to others. And if you are not pure, then, you know, just like the illusory devil, for some time you will look beautiful to somebody and then they will see your real face and not like you. So do not believe in the beauty of hell, believe in the beauty of purity. So this is also something that Baba says. Okay, Om Shanti.